I'm going to attempt to level up my monster design skills in anticipation of an animated horror short I'm releasing later this month. If some of you watched an older video of mine, this might sound familiar. For those who didn't, I created monster designs based on Rodrigo Sousa's Playground. Rodrigo Sousa is another YouTuber and animator who creates incredible horror animations. You must be wondering how this is different from before. The answer is you. So many of you guys left so many interesting and cool comments on my video, and after a while, I couldn't help myself and I had to try them out. I also wanted a chance to try Rodrigo Sousa's essential design trick, which I'll get into later in the video. This project was also a long time coming. Originally, it was going to be a comic strip that morphed into an animation that I wanted to release a couple years ago, but now it is finally here, and I'm happy to tell you how I redesigned my first monster for this horror short. Oh, also hi, I'm Ghost Chip. Before we get started, I need a more appropriate outfit. That's better. Now let's get right into it. Oh. Sorry guys, I don't have my laptop. Let's get back in 5 minutes. Where is it? Kayla? Olivia? Is that my laptop? Are you guys up here? You can come out now. We don't have all day. Okay. Funny, I guess. Guys, open the door. This isn't funny. Hey, let me out. Let me out. It's okay. They just want to mess with me. Then they'll let me out. I guess I might as well practice the script while I'm waiting. Okay, I already did the transformation. And I was here. I want to thank everyone who reached out and commented. I wouldn't have been able to do this video without you. I want to specifically thank Sam Sandwiches and Mortal Tezor, who gave some really awesome advice. Now let's get into it. You're probably wondering, what's this big design trick? Well, it's mixing inhuman and human, which is likely why the Uncanny Valley has such a big effect on us. I attempted this in my first round of designs, but I don't think I pushed it far enough. Mortal Tezor was actually the person who suggested I go, quote, crazy. And crazy I did. This is something I struggle with in my designs, and I'd like to explore in the future. Okay, enough preamble, let's get into this. My first design is the pumpkin monster. I decided this time I wouldn't just start with designing the monster, I was going to do pumpkin studies. I remember Mortal's comment suggesting I look at rotten pumpkins for inspiration, and I decided to expand my focus. Rotten ones, jack-o'-lanterns, and one with those weird warts on them. You'd think starting with a study would be a no-brainer, especially with my slightly more recent D&D character design video, but it's always nice to have a reminder. After drawing a bunch of fun messed up pumpkins, I looked at a hippo and started trying to combine the pumpkins in a more hippo-like silhouette. It was my lovely friend Fifi who suggested I make the eyes very big and bulging. After I decided to push it more, enjoying the look of more deflated, rotten pumpkin, so I smushed it. I also remember hearing that straight human teeth can feel more unsettling than fangs, probably because of the Uncanny Valley and making it look more human. So I decided to go with this. I also added some gooey drips and some stems as horns. And as I look at this, even though I know I started with it based off as a hippo, the creature gives me strong cow vibes. I also tried playing with these little gourd bumps, but I'm not feeling it. The gooey and the gourd bumps just don't mix, at least not yet. For the gooey texture, I also look at slime, which has a nice, stretchy, sticky feel that can hold onto its victim, trapping them forever. Now it's time to refine this baby with sharper edges, and I'm trying to remind myself to push it. Go a little crazy. So I make an eye droop, because that makes sense, it's a goo monster. I trace my lines, trying to add a nice mix of sharp and soft edges. Then I decide it's silhouette time. I've done this before, but a comment on my old monster design video reminded me about how silhouettes are really important for designs. Basically, the idea with this method is you take a design you're working on, you turn it into a silhouette, and then you push your shapes even more, and then you draw on top of it. I've done this in the past, and I've got great results, but I don't do it as often as I should. I'm seeing myself freehand this, and I'm gonna say I'm really impressed with myself. It's hard to believe. I think I have my design on really low opacity, but I can't see it. But I'm pretty sure I do, or maybe it's by its side. Anyway, I think I'm looking at something, I think. Anyway, I decide to droop the eye and the mouth on one side of the head even more to support that slow rotting feel. I end up having the little gourds on my monster's gums. Then it's time to do the final line art. I do it in bits. First the pumpkin body on one layer, some vines on one layer, and then the other vines on the other. I start coloring it with some desaturated colors, but like Sam Sandwiches suggests, I decide to put a pop of saturation at some interest points, specifically the gums, the tear ducts, and the eyes. I also add this on the thorns, but I might desaturate later for the final animation, I'm not sure yet. Then I add some shading to give a nice shiny gloopy texture, and this baby is done. Before the final reveal, I want to quickly say I hope you guys enjoyed watching my design process. If you did, please consider dropping a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell so we can learn more about art together in a fun, nerdy environment. Now let's look at the final reveal. I love how this monster looks. The touch of saturation looks great, and I really think this is a huge step up from my previous design. So much more creative and threatening, and I can't wait for you guys to see my other designs. Again, I really hope you like this video, and if you want to learn more about my design process, you should check out my channel. Can't get enough monster designs? Why not check out my Baldur's Gate inspired design series? I am still working on that, by the way. Want to see me battle time to create an animation for a challenge? Then check out Dimension 20 Never After inspired character redesign. And if you want to show some extra support, consider joining my Patreon. You'll get access to high-resolution PNGs of behind-the-scenes art, time-lapses of set art, your name at the end of new videos, and more. Speaking of, it's time to thank my spooky and salty patron. You are the light of hope in the solitude of this confinement. With that, I will retire to my corpse-like slumber. Until next time, bye. Why haven't they texted me back?